Hey everyone, AstroKit here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Mercury retrograde starting on August 5th and then it ends on August 28th. This retrograde is going to start in the sign of Virgo and it will end in the sign of Leo. And by the end of this video, you will know how this impacts your zodiac sign. Now each year, just a recap of retrograde, Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year for about 3 weeks each time. And during those times, things are a little bit confusing, chaotic, since Mercury has a lot of influence over our daily lives. Talking, communication, work, travel are all represented by Mercury. So our daily lives get a little hectic, annoying, irritating, and by the house in your chart, we can see where Mercury's transiting and how that impacts your life for the next 3 weeks in August. August 5th, Mercury stations retrograde in Virgo, and then the 14th of August is when it shifts into Leo. So we end retrograde with Mercury being in Leo. And so we think about the Virgo archetype, Leo archetype. It's going to be Leo season during that time. So it is a time where most of us as the collective are focusing on reassessing our health, reassessing our diet, getting organized. It is back to school season for a lot of people. And then Mercury retrograde in Leo in general has to do with how we express ourselves, how we communicate, our creative projects, and how we find a sense of inspiration in life. And we're talking about your August horoscope on Patreon. So if you're curious to know your full detailed horoscope for what's happening in your life next month, you guys can click the link down below. And if you're wondering what sign to watch this video for, you can watch it for your ascendant sign. Feel free to watch it for your sun sign or moon sign, but mostly for your tropical ascendant sign. For you Aries, Mercury retrograde initially affects your health, wellness, and routine. You're rethinking your routine, rethinking your diet, and your productivity levels overall. You reassess your habits, your daily routines, and consider whether or not what you're doing right now is productive for your long-term goals. And the first half of retrograde from the 5th to the 14th can be a little bit irritating for you when it comes to work, your schedule, and your routine. So you can have some missed schedules or confusion with the dates in your calendar, confusion with the time you're supposed to meet with people or go to work or things like that. So you can have irritation at work with your coworkers, and just your daily routine in general can be a little bit chaotic during this time. And then on the 14th, once Mercury goes into Leo, it goes into your 5th house. So you switch your energy a little bit to focusing on your creativity, your creative projects, reflecting on the past when it comes to creative things that you've done, things you want to do in the future, and what your true creative talents really are and how you can tap into them more. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. So for you, Leo, Mercury retrograde is affecting your finances, especially the first half of retrograde being in Virgo in your 2nd house. So this means you're reassessing your finances, how you spend your money. You're looking back on how you spent your money, especially in the past several months. Is it aligning with your future goals, your budgets, etc.? And it is a time where it can be some confusing circumstances or experiences with your money. So you have to be watchful and careful about where you spend it, if you're being overcharged, double checking your receipts and such, and you can have some confusion there with your finances. With the 2nd half of retrograde, Mercury is going into your 1st house. So this shifts your attention and your mental energy onto yourself and your physical appearance. You have the urge to change your appearance, do something different, and perhaps return to a former style that you used to have. You have an old aesthetic or something you used to do with your hair that you really like, and you want to do it again in this upcoming retrograde. So it's all about restyling yourself, reorganizing your life financially, and reconnecting with your true and authentic aesthetic. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you, Sagittarius, Mercury retrograde impacts your career and your public image. You feel more contemplative about where you're headed in life, what your long-term goals are, and you are reassessing your positioning in your career and what you want to do for the future. The first half of retrograde is going to be in your 10th house with Mercury being in Virgo, and this means that you could have some confusion and some miscommunications at work with your boss and having a little bit of chaos in your professional life. And a lot of you guys are having second thoughts when it comes to any professional decisions you have to make in August. On the 14th, when Mercury goes into Leo, that means it's going to your 9th house, and you have a shift of mental energy towards your beliefs, your value system, and what you see yourself doing in the future in terms of aligning with your purpose. Have a mental shift where you look back on past mentalities that you had, past beliefs or philosophies, and feel like they resonate for some reason in August, and you want to move forward with these past lessons that you learned, past mentalities that you used to have, and using the past knowledge that you gained to create a new future for yourself from this point of manifestation. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Taurus, the first half of retrograde lights up your 5th house. This means your mental energy is on your creations, your creativity, and your talents. You're putting energy into your passions and discovering what exactly they are. A lot of you guys are looking back to the past and reassessing what you used to do when you were a kid, what really inspires you, and you feel this urge to create something new based on past things that you've already done. This also brings romance into your life, but romance from the perspective of people that you used to talk to romantically or were involved with on a romantic level. People that you dated can come back into your life, and maybe they ask you on a date again, and you want to run it back with certain people that you were once connected with. And then on the 14th, Mercury goes into Leo, which means it shifts into your 4th house, and your mental energy is consumed with your home life, what you do at home, reorganizing your home, redecorating, and you feel a need to have an energy shift in your personal space to create it into a sanctuary for yourself. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you, Virgo, Mercury retrograde is in your sign. So you, out of anyone, feels more chaotic, confused, and a little discombobulated during the month of August. However, the specific way this impacts you is that Mercury is going to be going through your 1st house, so it affects your physical appearance and your sense of self-worth and your self-confidence. So there's a shift going on for you where you want to change your appearance, you revisit old looks that you used to do, you feel the need to reconnect with your true, authentic self through how you express yourself with your physical appearance. Through makeup, through hair, through clothing. This is where you're spending your energy and kind of revamping yourself, revamping your look, and rebranding your whole vibe. The energy shifts for you though on the 14th once Mercury goes into Leo, and that goes into your 12th house. So that puts your mental energy on the past, thinking about past experiences that you had that created you into who you are today. It's all about this sense of self with retrograde for you, Virgo, and connecting with your true self. And by looking at the past, you get a clear vision of your future and what it has in store for you, and you're doing a lot of self-reflection during Mercury retrograde. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you, Capricorn, Mercury retrograde is lighting up your 9th house, so this means you're placing your mental energy on your belief system, on your value system, and overall your spiritual mentality. A lot of you guys will experience some sort of mentality shift because of thinking back on the past and how that's formed you into the person you are today, and how has your different mentalities gotten you to different circumstances in your life. And a lot of you guys are contemplating about the future, where you want to go with your life, where it's headed, and if you're aligned with your true purpose and destiny. The energy shifts for you once Mercury goes into Leo, and you get more contemplative about the occult, about spirituality. You're doing spiritual research during retrograde, and this research that you do and this information that you gain is vital to your journey and your life moving forward, and has a lot of importance on your spiritual journey overall. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. Now for you, Gemini, the other mercurial sign, Mercury retrograde in general is usually a chaotic time for you, or it can be a time of heavy self-reflection. And since this retrograde is happening in your 4th house, this means that you feel very nostalgic. You feel like looking back at the past experiences and circumstances that created you into who you are today. With this first half of retrograde being in your 4th house especially, you are reassessing your home life, your living situation, and your environment. And if it's most productive for you? Do you feel like it's a comfortable place for you? Is it your sanctuary and you're working on creating this metaphorical sanctuary in your home life during Mercury retrograde? Now, things change a little bit though on the 14th once Mercury goes into Leo. This means that Mercury goes into your 3rd house and you start to focus your mental energy on your social connections, on your social media platforms. A lot of you guys might do a social media cleanse in August at some point. You can clean out your social media, rebrand your socials, delete pictures, etc. And you're in this space where you want to feel more aligned with how you express yourself through media, and especially on social media, and how people are perceiving you and your social dynamics. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Libra with Mercury retrograde in Virgo, this is going through your 12th house. So this means that you feel reflective and contemplative about the past, and especially past experiences that had a strong psychological impact on you. And during retrograde, you have these moments where you feel more clarity about where you're going in the future, because you're able to see what happened in the past more clearly and how you learned lessons from certain experiences. You're also placing a lot of energy on your health at this point and making sure that you feel comfortable, safe, and that your health and wellness journey is in alignment with what you truly desire. The energy shifts for you a bit once Mercury goes into Leo. This means it's going into your 11th house and you place your mental energy on your goals, your wishes, your dreams, and your desires. You're thinking about what you want to manifest for the future, but after you've already done some reflecting on the past, you can more clearly see and decide for yourself what you truly want in your life and what you want to cut out and end. This also puts you in a position where you're connecting with people from the past, people that you used to be friends with, and you feel nostalgic about the social connections in your life that have brought some sort of fond memories for you. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Aquarius, Mercury retrograde is a transformative time for you, and especially mentally transformative, where you go through certain mindset shifts and psychological changes. And these psychological changes that you're going through has to do with looking back at the past, the different mentalities you used to have, different things that you used to research when it comes to your spiritual journey, and how has that all come together and created your mentality that you have today, and how you want to change that for your future in order to manifest different things that you want. In this first half of retrograde, your mind is dwelling on the occult, on spirituality. You're researching some spiritual topic that really interests you, like tarot, astrology, and finding out different things that you didn't know before within those realms, and having deep spiritual secrets be revealed to you. Overall, you feel your intuition being strengthened during retrograde and your psychic abilities being strengthened as well. Now, things change for you a little bit on the 14th of August once Mercury goes into Leo. This means Mercury is going into your 7th house, and you place your mental energy on your partnerships, on how you interact with people, and you're reassessing how you're perceived by others in social dynamic. What is the reputation people know you for, how you're perceived, and thinking about how you want to rebrand or reconnect with people in order to be seen as your most authentic self. You might face some confusion or chaos when it comes to partnerships, and especially business partnerships. For you, out of all the signs, it's important to look over contracts more carefully, to reassess what you're signing, since it has the potential to have some missing information while you do it, but then realizing later that it didn't really align with what you had initially thought. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Cancer, Mercury retrograde in Virgo has a lot to do with communication and social media. You are archiving photos, deleting stuff, posting stuff, and overall reassessing how you're perceived through social media platforms. And this also puts the focus on your relationship with social media, how often you use it, what's your screen time. And some of you guys are looking back on the past of how much your screen time was in the past several weeks or several months, and how you want to move forward with how much you use social media and what you use it for. Some of you guys can have trouble with technology during August, especially the first half of retrograde, where your Wi-Fi stops working, maybe your device breaks, or you have some trouble with something you bought online. So all of these technological things that you do on a daily basis can be a bit more annoying or irritating for you. Now, the energy shifts for you on August 14th when Mercury goes into Leo. This means Mercury heads into your 2nd house, and you start placing your mental energy on your finances, on security, and your possession. And you reassess what you have in terms of your material possessions, specifically your clothes, your shoes. You're getting rid of stuff. Maybe you want to sell some stuff on social platforms, and you're reorganizing the material things that you you have in order to align more with a new aesthetic you want to create for yourself, or just feeling like you have some clutter and you want to get rid of it. And it is a good time to be more careful with your money towards the end of August, because this can create some confusion or some circumstances where you get overcharged for something, or maybe you bought something and then your order was incomplete. So you can have those annoying things happen with your money and financial transactions. So it's good to have a careful eye on how you're spending your money, where it's being spent, and who has access to it. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Scorpio, during Mercury retrograde in Virgo, you're focused on your dreams, wishes, desires, and what you want to manifest for the future. You're reassessing what your true desires are, what your goals are, and how you want to achieve them in the future. This is a time where you reassess your past goals, your past desires. What did you used to want to do? Did you achieve it already? Will you achieve it? And how will you get there? So you're placing a lot of mental energy on manifestation, how you can manifest better, and thinking about different manifestation techniques in order to bring your desires to you more authentically and quickly. It is also a time where you're reconnecting with old friends and feeling nostalgic about social connections you used to have. And through reconnecting with people from the past, you feel this sense of emotional fulfillment and gratitude. On August 14th, once Mercury goes into Leo, Mercury is going into your 10th house. This means that you place your mental energy on your career, your long-term goals, and rethinking your position in your professional life. This is connected to the first half of retrograde for you, where you were thinking about your goals and what you want to do in terms of your life in general. So you get more specific during Mercury retrograde in Leo about where you're headed, how you can achieve that, if the circumstances in your career allow for your potential to be manifested. And a lot of you guys will be reassessing your career, having some doubts about it, or just confusion about what you want to do in the future with your professional life. You can also have chaos, confusion, or some irritating circumstances at work with your boss. You can have miscommunications with your boss, your coworkers, and not seeing eye to eye with the people that you work with. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching. For you Pisces, Mercury retrograde in Virgo makes you rethink and reassess relationships and how you appeal to others socially. This is a time where you think about your relationships, how you're setting boundaries with people, how you're giving structure to your partnerships, and how you're perceived by other people. A lot of you guys are thinking about past relationships that you've had, things you've learned from those relationships, and how you can take those lessons and integrate them into your relationships in the future. You're more in touch with this theme of persuasiveness, and any social interactions you have in August, you have this intention to be persuasive. And especially in professional relationships, you are reassessing how you interact with people in order to get your common goals achieved with other people. The energy shifts for you a little bit once Mercury goes into Leo on August 14th, and the second half of retrograde will be impacting your 6th house. This means that you are reassessing and rethinking your habits, your routine, and your wellness journey so far. Thinking about habits that you used to have, and especially goals that you've once had with your health journey, with your diets, and thinking of reincorporating those things into your life moving forward. And you're thinking about the healthiest, most productive version of yourself and how you can achieve that through your daily habits and routine. And if you want to know what the entire month of August has in store for you, we have the August horoscopes on Patreon, so you guys can click that down below if you're interested in watching.